You're listening to Common Sense and Beer, where we talk about the heavy-hitting topics with a beer in hand. I'm one host, Zach, and my other host here.
Kyle, I'm here as well.
Yes, you are. And today, we're back. We're back for,
Well,
from a little hiatus.
For a week.
for one hiatus to the next.
Yeah. It's been
Yep.
more than a week, but hopefully we get out there. We're going to have to tell our, 15 listeners to catch our latest
Don't
episode.
undersell us, man.
Oh, that's all right. I'm not.
Those are loyal 15.
Well, yeah, that's true. They have been loyal. But yeah, so what are we going to talk about today, Kyle?
Well, tomorrow is election day,
It is.
and
It
I
is.
believe we're just going to post this up as soon as we're done with it,
Oh, I don't see why not.
So
Or-
it's pretty much as live as it gets.
Yeah, we want to do a little prediction type thing
Little
here
prediction
today.
game should be fun. We get to talk about the two candidates, It's well, how would you describe the two candidates, Zach? How do they compel your heart? Who pulls harder?
Well, I'll tell you, since we really haven't talked about it, I mean, we haven't talked in a while now, but as far as I'm concerned, the way I look at it is I don't think either one of them is the ideal candidate for their respective parties. I will say that. But that being said, my vote's going to go towards the non-baby killing party. But that's as far as what do I think of them? I don't know. I think Kamala was kind of pushed into this. I think she was. I think it was a ploy for her to be the candidate.
She didn't get picked by anybody.
I know. That's what I mean. Yeah,
Nobody voted for her.
She was just kind of pushed into that.
Yeah, which is wild to me that
Yep.
they talk about their democracy.
And then, Trump, as far as Trump goes, like I said, I think there are other ideal candidates to have for the Republican Party. But I think, again, I think I usually try to stay as logical as I can when it comes to voting. And I don't mind throwing my vote into a third party if I think they are better, the better candidate. And I know we've talked about that before. I know you said you voted for third party candidates as well. So I don't mind doing that, but this year I just don't.
It would be really dumb to.
Yeah,
I mean, it just kind of is what it is, because at this point you have the one party whose platform is all the third, the libertarian candidate. I mean, Ron Paul is pretty much on board with the Trump platform at this point.
Yep.
RFK,
Yep.
you've got a blue dog Democrat there.
Mhm.
Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republican
yep.
Party, but it's just you're not really voting for Trump. You're voting for who's in his administration that he's bringing on. And RFK came out and said that there's no donors.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's always temptation when these conversations come up. There's always temptation that, there's always temptation to talk about the two-party system and all that. But whether we like it or not, we're in a two-party system. I mean, that's where we're voting this year.
Right.
So, I don't necessarily think that. Bless you.
Thank you.
I would hate to discourage, nor do I like it when people discourage people to vote third party, because I think that's still just as much of a vote as, the other two parties. I mean, maybe is it a waste in the long run of things? Maybe not. But at the end of the day, ultimately it's them, utilizing their right to vote for whoever they want, the write-ins, whatever. I think not only that, but it also encourages a populace to actually have an original thought every once in a while, rather than just listening to the ads that they see scroll across their phone. You know what I mean? And I would always like to encourage that, an original thought every once in a while by especially younger voters, but even older voters too.
Yeah.
So-
Not just a parroting of
Yeah, exactly.
Taylor Swift said this, or
Yeah.
Cardi B said this, or
Yep. Or, Ben Shapiro said this, or, I mean,
Yeah.
it's on both sides,
Yep.
So I don't know. I like seeing original thoughts. I like seeing that younger people, want to vote third party, because then at least it tells me that they've at least done some research on the candidates,
Yeah.
But at the same time, those do kind of get washed out, between the other two parties. So, but as far as I'm getting back to your question, as far as I'm concerned, I obviously like one way more than the other, so that's who I'm going to vote for probably. Not probably. I've done research. That's who I'm going to vote for. But, that's kind of where I lie on it. Do I think that Donald Trump is the best candidate for the party? Me personally, I don't. But that being said, that's who I'm going to probably vote for.
Yeah. Well, I'm with you there, but I don't have a long-winded thing to say. I mean, I think it simply comes down to it's between communism and America, and Donald Trump's platform is the American platform. I mean, there's just so many people on board there that it's like they want to do such great things, like to cut regulations and then change the regulations that are making all our food poisonous.
Yeah.
Fix the financial stuff because we're in for it. I mean, they've just been spending money on crazy nonsense. Well, they've been giving all the illegals money, which is their new voting block, and they're pushing out polls talking about Iowa could turn blue.
Yeah.
And it's like there's also at the same time an investigation going in by Homeland Security about why there's so many illegals all of a sudden in Iowa. And it's like they've just been pumping them into these states, man. And it's like
the sanctuary cities. And stuff.
Not even. They've just been getting paid off. Money talks, man, and that's like everyone talks about how capitalism, down with capitalism, and they don't understand the difference between capitalism and crony capitalism, and it's like are you going to go deal with like an honest shop owner, or are you going to deal with the mafia like on purpose? Like, what are you going to go do?
Yep. Yeah, as far as I don't know, that's one big thing too. That's a very big issue when it comes to this year's voting as well as the border. That's going to be a huge point of how people vote. I think. Well, I guess what would you say the biggest hot button topics are that people are going to be basing their votes off of? I think the border is one of them, but what else do you think?
I think abortion.
Abortion is like every year, right?
It's insane.
Well, it's even more because of Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
Right.
And all what like the lies people believe about all that, man. It's such a crazy thing that's like such a big thing on people's minds, Like I'm not voting for that at all. I'm voting against it, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But like, for me, it's the economy. Like, shit's getting expensive. Groceries are ridiculous. Everything's ridiculous. Like, I just want to live my life, man.
Yeah. People are definitely feeling the economy right now. That's. I don't know. I would hope that a lot of people are going into it thinking about the economy, because otherwise things are just going to get worse and worse and worse I mean, as far, I guess, what do you think it's speculation, I know, but what do you think are like the two biggest or three biggest issues that people vote on, like in general? Do you think it's economy, abortion, border, or?
Yeah.
I mean, those are big ones nowadays.
Yeah, for right now. Everything going on right now, I'd say that's probably it right there. Right?
Yeah, I would say so too. Abortion, I feel, has always been in like the top 2 or 3 of issues, but economy too. See, the crappy thing about economy though too is people will vote based off of the economy and really not know anything about the economy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've noticed that too. Granted, I'm no economics major, but.
Like Trump came out and said they don't want to tax your overtime anymore. They came out and were like, "Oh, he doesn't want to pay overtime.
He doesn't want overtime. Yeah,
no more overtime. Your overtime's gone with Trump." And it's like, no, that's not what That's not at all what he was saying.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's actually like a legitimate thing. Like that would be super helpful to lots of people.
That'd be huge.
Yeah, that would be huge.
That'd be huge. Yeah, if I was working overtime and I didn't get taxed, I mean, we've all been there. We've all looked at a check where we
Yeah.
worked like 20 hours of overtime or something on a check,
Right.
and you
It-
look at the amount of taxes that were come out. It's like, why did I work the overtime?
It's like a slot machine in the opposite direction.
yeah, yeah,
You know, it's got that times 2 multiplier. Yes. Oh, wait, no.
yeah, yep,
You know, it's like Bowser's slot machine.
yeah. Bowser's slot machine.
You landed on the bad space in Mario Party, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yep. Yeah, I
It's my money, dude. It's so
Well, it
much
does-
money.
it is crazy. I mean,
gone.
yeah, you look at your pay stub and it's like, okay, why did I work overtime for an extra 20, 40 bucks? You know?
Yeah, but no, I'm voting for the party that's all about giving money and tax cuts to families and encouraging family growth. You know, turning these treatments like completely free, the IVF treatments, free for everybody that needs them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
And encouraging like actual national growth, like internally. So yeah, I'm voting for that.
Yeah.
Plus, Trump wants to like just completely take off the income tax and just gut taxes in general. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm curious to see what happens. Are we going to go back to a gold-backed currency? Like, is there a plan? Because are you going to just demolish the Federal Reserve? But what's going to be the short-term implications of that happening? You know, is it going to get really bad for a year? Are we going to be like, oh man, you know, in a couple years we're going to be like, yo, remember when Trump got reelected and like shit got just wild
yeah.
for
Right.
that like little bit, and it's just something we just talk about like that, you know,
Yeah.
in a year or 2 or 3.
Yeah. The other interesting thing too, and we'll have to do what Joey had pulled up there, but you know, one of the things I was thinking about too is after this election, what do you think the election years will look like after this? Because it seems like in the last couple elections have been like very high heat.
Hopefully
You
it goes
know.
back to normal after this. We fix things.
I'm
and then
glad
you
that
got
you said back to normal because
JD Vance versus some you know, like a Buttigieg or who's
Yeah.
the other guy? I don't know, man. One of those Andrew Yang. You know,
I have no idea who
Andrew
that is.
Yang, the Democrat. I don't know how many of those guys there really are, dude. I mean, they're all really just corrupt, evil people. I feel like they're the demons, and like when people talk about the lizard skin people, it's like
The
you know,
lizard
Gretchen
people?
Whitmer and like all these like Democratic governors and senators and whatnot. And they're all just really evil. I don't know about you, but like Joey, can you pull up some of her gaffes in like these interviews, like her one with Brett Baer and the Fox News one? Like, I don't know if there's like a specific clip, but like that whole interview alone, we could watch a little bit of it and just see the train wreck that it is. It's probably scrubbed and like only the best ones are available.
Oh, I'm sure.
But either way, like her voice to me it sounds demonic.
Yeah.
Like I almost can't stand it. Like
Who-
it's
who
like
is
a
this again?
shrieking.
Oh, Kamala?
CNN politics. This will be funny.
Harris.
Well, let's see. Can CNN make her look good?
Oh, it gets heated.
Probably a 5-second clip. I'm not finished, and then ends.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not
so
finished.
you got to upgrade that internet speed.
Harris interview with Fox News gets heated.
Oh, copyright
ads.
claim. We're not affiliated with the show that's Dune.
Dune, yeah.
Whatever, man.
Are they coming out with a show now?
Looks like it. Prophecy.
Hmm.
I watch it. That guy's a good actor. I like him.
Oh.
I like him too. I forget his name.
Well, there we go, man. Maybe we got a new show to watch. Speaking of shows, you guys watch The Penguin?
Not yet. I will.
No, I've seen a bunch of stuff on it
I
though.
started watching. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've
think
heard
we're
it's
all
really
caught up
good, but
on
I just haven't done it yet.
It's a good one.
I haven't committed.
It's good. I'll vouch for it. All right.
Let's see what we got here.
Let me screen this first because this is CNN. Because I don't want to hear her talk at all.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Well, 1 second. Because no one can hear what's being
Oh no.
said.
Oh.
Just a second. I got to
Oh.
change something.
So we got a cool little awkward silence.
Yeah.
Well, fill the void,
Well,
guy.
all right, man.
Yep.
Yep.
So, but before we're done today, we're probably going to do a little map where we feel.
Well, I'm gonna predict that Trump's gonna win the popular vote too this time.
So you think he's
I
going
think
to
it's
win
gonna be a
both?
landslide.
Yeah.
I think even with their shenanigans, they're gonna have to go so over the top that it's not gonna be possible. Because there's too many people watching this time. They actually have lawyers and whatnot watching.
Yeah.
You know. So that's kind of my prediction, my optimism
Yeah.
bias. You know, like I'm my optimistic view of it.
Yeah.
Hope.
How many
There we go.
illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you
now,
just a
which
number?
is-
Do you
but-
think it's
but,
1 million, 3 million?
Brett, let's just get to the point.
So your Homeland Security
Yeah, get to
Secretary
it.
said that
Get to the point.
85%
But
of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have
It's a
an
rough
immigration
estimate of
system
6 million people
that
have been
needs to be-
released
but-
into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question. I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came
May
in
I
ship for
please
the
finish?
yes,
May
ma'am.
I finish responding,
But
please?
here,
Shut up. Don't want to hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear them. But like, did you hear that response to the question?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a great topic.
It's
to
a great
bring up.
topic to
It's
talk
something
about.
that we should talk about,
yeah, and it-
something people deserve to hear talked about in
And-
front of them.
and I think people
I think
want to
we
hear
should
about
talk
it, and
about
we should talk. Yeah, and
at a
yeah, I
time.
feel like it's something that yeah,
It needs to
that's
be
what
talked
she
about.
that's what she does. I mean,
And
you
people are like openly gonna vote for. People have like, they talk about the Trump cultists or whatever, but there's signs. They have signs of her face
Yeah.
in their yard.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, what are you like? She is nothing. She
Now
does-
I will say don't get me wrong. Trump has said some stupid stuff too.
Yeah.
But
oh, 100%.
But at
it-
least
like,
he's
Trump
has
was
some
on a
sort of
3-hour
conviction.
interview with Rogan, or with Joe Rogan, and it went great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least he's sticking to convictions, whereas this is like, it's just over and over. Yes, it's something that we should talk about, and I think voters want to hear us talk about it, and it's important to. And then she says 2 words after that, and then it's done. Next topic. You know, I don't know. I don't think that she's very intelligent, and I don't think that she will. I don't know. I just don't see how you can see someone like that do interviews before they're supposed to before they're a candidate for the president.
Yeah.
I mean, what's she going to be doing when there's critical decisions that need to be made? You know, is she just going to tell people, "Yep, you're right. We should talk about this." Okay, but what's
Well,
your decision? Well, my decision will be, you know, it's a hard decision to make, but I think it's a decision that needs to be made. You know, it's like, come on.
Just find another interview of her. Oh, like just a random other one, because I'm sure
It'll be the same thing, yeah.
like you can pull up any of the things where she gets interviewed, and she does the same answer, like algorithm.
Mm-hmm. Is that Whoopi Goldberg?
Oh man.
Woof.
There are so many people in our country who are right in the middle. They're taking care of their kids and they're taking care of their aging parents. And it's just almost impossible to do it all, especially if they work.
They have to cut her.
Would you have done
So
something
awkwardly.
differently than President Biden
Oh, that's my
during the
favorite.
past
Yeah,
4
right
years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact. You asked me what's the difference between Joe Biden and me. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet because I don't feel burdened
What
by
Republican?
letting pride get in the way of a good idea.
Liz Cheney. Uh-oh. Russian Gate?
Another one?
That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like anytime she says anything, it's just nothing.
Yeah.
And then you got Trump, who's just a master class, and then JD Vance is freaking amazing. He's like anything that comes out of his mouth is just gold.
Yeah. I will say when I first saw that he was going to be the vice president pick, I will say that he did come off very smug to me. And it was almost like the first couple things that I heard from him talk about, and I heard him talk about on different news outlets, he was very, he kind of had the same cocky kind of persona that Trump puts on. And I thought, okay, well, you know, I mean, this will get people behind him, but there's going to be a lot of people out there that want a chill dude. And then,
And I didn't see that at all, to be honest. I didn't know who I was more like, who?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, but then again, I think he proved himself well. Granted, I didn't see it, but I've heard from a lot of people.
Pull up the debate clips, Joe.
Yeah, that the vice presidential debate was very, it was very calm.
Pull up Tim Waltz, his friends, who he has friends with.
What?
His school shooters. He's friends with school shooters.
I wouldn't really put any word in that. He's just a slip up. I wouldn't really like.
Yeah, you know
he
what?
said it, but I wouldn't put anything behind it.
It's a nervous, and he looks horrible when he's saying it because he's in his he's downward spiraling. All right, well, look at that caption picture right there, Zach.
What's it say?
I don't know, just the picture, I guess, whatever. But it's.
You'll see him when he pops up.
Look at him. He's a
I've
frantic
become
man.
friends with school shooters. I've seen it.
We have so much to get to, Senator.
Those
We have
laws
so
have been on
much.
the books since 1990.
Thank you, gentlemen.
The
We wanna
CBP
have-
One app has not been on the books since 1990. It's something that Kamala Harris created, Margaret.
Gentlemen, the audience can't hear you because your
Audience
mics are
can't
cut.
hear you.
We have so much we want to get to. Thank you for explaining the legal process.
I will be the first to tell you, I have poured my heart into my community. I've tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect. And I'm a knucklehead at times.
He's a knucklehead.
The question
dude.
was, can you
He just
explain
misspeaks.
the
No, just
discrepancy?
all I said
He
on this
just-
was I got there that summer and misspoke on
He
this.
just
So
misspoke.
I will
he
just
made up the
what I've
entire
said.
story. He just is a
So I was
knucklehead.
in
This
Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in.
Hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars of American taxpayer money on solar panels that are made in China. Number one, you're going to make the economy dirtier. We should be making more of those solar panels here in the United
are,
States of
Minnesota.
America. Some of them are, Tim, but a lot of them are being made overseas in China.
I would just ask that. Did he lose the 2020 election?
Tim, I'm focused on the future. Did Kamala Harris censor Americans from speaking their mind in the wake of the 2020 COVID situation?
That is
Has she tried to-
a damning non-answer.
It's a damning non-answer for you to not talk about censorship.
No, I will say I kind of liked that answer better than playing the you know what he did. Oh, J6.
I'm focused
you know.
on the future.
Yeah, I'm focused on the future, which he should be if he's a vice presidential candidate that barely anybody knew about. You know, he should be focused on the future. That's absolutely what he should be focused on. Which, I mean, that gives me more hope in someone being a vice president than someone that just gerrymanders and just tells people what they want to hear or just skates around the question altogether.
Yeah,
You
no, I
know,
agree.
so. But shall we do the map?
I think you should do them individually.
Each state of it individually?
No, as in
No,
you do
I'll go first.
like without
Oh,
you
I see. I
swaying
see.
his opinion.
Okay. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know the political maps
No, it's
that
just-
well, but
I'll start.
You want to start?
I'll start.
I'll read them off. Alabama, because it's an alphabetical. Let's go
Alabama, Republican.
Alaska,
Republican.
Arizona,
I'm going to say Republican.
Arkansas,
Republican.
Arkansas, California.
I'm going to say Republican this year.
Really, you think so?
I think so.
I don't think so. But Colorado,
Democrat.
Connecticut,
Ooh. I never really pay attention to Connecticut.
Me, no one pays attention.
I'm going to just
that.
say Democrat.
well, it's in the upper Maine like
Delaware Democrat
So-
for sure.
district.
Does that... Oh, that counts?
Yeah,
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
they got people.
Yeah, man.
What is it? Is it 3
Democrat,
electorate?
obviously.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
What'd
gonna
you
say
say?
Democrat.
Democrat. Florida,
Republican.
Georgia, key race. I'll skip the key races for now. Hawaii,
Oh. I'm going to say Republican this time around.
Idaho,
Republican.
Illinois,
Democrat.
Indiana,
Republican.
Iowa,
Republican.
Kansas,
Republican.
Kentucky,
Republican.
Louisiana,
Yeah, Republican.
Maine.
Is that the one that can split?
Yes,
I think it's gonna split Republican, Democrat.
like 2 and 2 or what?
Yeah. 2 and 2.
So, okay. Maryland,
You know what? I think it's gonna be surprise. No, it's gonna go Democrat.
yeah. Massachusetts.
That's definitely going Democrat.
Skip the Maine. Minnesota.
I'm gonna say Republican.
Real.
Let
Never
it-
mind. Never mind.
yeah,
I'll
let
let
it-
it- I'll
No,
let it
I'm
lie.
gonna.
Mississippi.
I'll have answers if you have questions.
Mississippi,
Republican. Republican.
Montana,
Republican.
Nebraska.
We're going Republican because they're changing the law. I think they changed it, didn't they?
They can split though, just so you know.
All right. Well,
So-
all right.
They have 5-2. Like, do you want to split any?
I'm
Do
gonna
you think
say
it
it's
needs to
it's
split?
going all Republican because I think they passed that law that means it's all or winner takes all.
Okay, New Hampshire,
New Hampshire's Republican this year. I think that's how it goes.
New Jersey,
Republican,
New Mexico,
Democrat.
New York,
I think it's going Republican.
It's North Dakota,
Republican,
Ohio,
Republican,
Oklahoma,
Republican.
Oregon,
We're gonna go Democrat.
Rhode Island,
Democrat.
South Carolina,
Republican.
South Dakota,
Republican.
Tennessee,
Definitely Republican there.
Texas,
It's gonna stay Republican.
Utah,
I'm gonna say Republican.
Vermont,
Democrat, Vermont.
Virginia,
Republican because they switched to paper ballots.
Washington,
Democrat.
West Virginia,
Republican.
Wyoming.
Republican.
So we'll go back through real fast. I skipped over the key races. So key races, Arizona being one. You said Republican. Georgia,
Georgia, I'm gonna say goes Republican.
Michigan,
I'm gonna say that one goes Democrat.
Nevada,
Nevada's really corrupt. I'm gonna say that goes Democrat.
North Carolina,
Yeah, I think North Carolina's got to go Republican.
Pennsylvania,
I feel like it's got to go Republican, but that being said, I honestly feel like they're gonna steal it.
so Democrat.
Democrat.
Wisconsin,
Republican.
Republican. I'm not going to look at your numbers. We'll save that for later. Or and then I'm not going to ask any questions because I don't want to sway Zach's things yet. So we go to Zach's thing. Alabama,
Red.
Red.
Alaska,
Red.
Arkansas,
Red.
California,
Blue.
Colorado,
Blue.
Connecticut.
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to the North.
It's the north.
New
It's the
England.
Northeast. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you should know which.
Yeah. I'll say blue. Yeah.
Almost all the Northeast is
Blue.
Delaware,
Yep. Blue.
District,
Blue.
Florida,
Red.
Hawaii,
Blue.
Idaho,
Red.
Illinois,
Blue.
Indiana,
Red.
Iowa,
Red.
Kansas,
Red.
Kentucky,
Red.
Louisiana,
Red.
Maine,
Split. We'll split. We'll split them.
like a 2 and 2. You can do a 3-1.
No, 2 and 2. Just do
Okay.
2 and 2.
Okay, Maryland,
Ooh, I'd say they go blue.
blue, Massachusetts,
Blue.
Minnesota,
Ooh, blue. I'm gonna say blue.
Mississippi.
Red.
Okay, Missouri,
Red.
Montana,
Red.
Nebraska.
Yeah, red. Red.
Do-
Red.
Do we split?
Nope. All red.
So all 5 are red.
Yep.
Okay. New Hampshire,
Blue.
New Jersey,
Blue.
New Mexico,
Blue.
New York,
Blue.
North Dakota,
Red.
Ohio,
Red.
Oklahoma,
Red.
Oregon,
Blue.
Rhode Island,
Blue.
South Carolina,
Red.
South Dakota,
Red.
Tennessee,
Red.
Texas,
Red. Red.
Utah,
Red.
Vermont.
Red.
Okay. Virginia.
Okay, Jim.
Oh boy. Red. We'll go red.
Oh, come on. You wouldn't have said that.
Washington,
Blue.
West Virginia,
We'll go blue.
Wow.
okay, Wyoming.
Red.
Then let's go back up to key races. Arizona,
Arizona, I see going red.
Arizona, red. Georgia,
That's like the biggest one right now, isn't it?
Pennsylvania's bigger.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I suppose.
Potentially Michigan.
Georgia. Let's go red. I think Georgia will go
All
red.
right, Michigan,
Blue.
Nevada,
Blue.
North Carolina,
Red.
Pennsylvania,
These last two are the two tough ones. I will go red for Pennsylvania and blue for Wisconsin.
okay. And just because we're on here, we will start with Zach here. What made you choose your things? Any particular reason?
On the key races, well, I mean Wisconsin I can definitely speak to. I just think that I think that there's a lot of knuckleheads. Our county that we're in always goes blue.
Are we talking about like 13% or what?
No. I think it'll stay. I think Wisconsin will stay blue. I don't know if Kamala has said enough stupid things to sway people to the red side. I just think that there are a lot of people in this state that like the state assistants and all of those things that we've got going on here. So outside of that, the other ones purely guesses. Georgia, I think the only reason I chose Georgia to go red is just because I know Atlanta is going to be a huge factor in that, but I think overwhelmingly because they are a southern state, especially bordering the Florida, I think there's going to be a lot of bleed over of.
They were blue last year, 4 years ago, but historically they've been red the past 6 years.
Yeah,
I think
Georgia's going to be one of those where when they do see the candidates, because I know both of the candidates have been there, I think people will see that, Trump's a little bit more able to run a country versus Kamala. So
when do you think they're making this decision, dudes? Tomorrow?
Most of them will be decided tomorrow. Pennsylvania might be decided early. It kind of depends on like the early ballots and stuff. We'll see. Yeah. But Zach, your total is in favor of Donald Trump, 295 to 243. Obviously, 270 to win. So you have him winning by. If you split it in half, because technically it's if you win a vote, you lose a vote, right? So by 30, about you have him winning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be even closer than that, to be honest with you, but we'll see. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
Yep. So that is Zach's. Any final talks before we go to Kyle?
No, I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, I never pay attention to the stuff in the Northeast, to be honest with you.
It's almost always blue.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of shot darts at the wall on those, but as far as everything else, I think that's going to be pretty accurate. And I think Minnesota, you'll have to explain yourself when you get there, but I don't see Minnesota going red at all.
Right.
But we'll see. I'll give you your chance. And then Hawaii, you put Hawaii as red?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get to yours then. No more final comments from me.
All right, so for Kyle here, you have it winning 401 to 137.
Yes, sir. The landslide, dude.
That's
the modern day landslide.
More
right there.
than a landslide.
That's wild.
A fucking.
No.
What is the
Look at the Reagan landslide, dude. That was every state, just about.
That's a pretty wild number. You think
I'm
it's gonna?
telling you, man.
You don't think it's gonna be that close?
I don't think it can be that close.
I mean, if everyone that went to the polls thought logically and were well informed, I would agree with you. But
What are you pulling up here?
Just the electoral college numbers. What they
yeah, what was the closest to Kyle's numbers there?
I might have to find a different format. It's kind of hard to read there. Go History Channel.
History Channel's got us.
So highest one is Lyndon Johnson versus Barry Goldwyn, winning 486 to Goldwater's 52. I mean, that was 1964.
Yeah.
It's quite a while ago. Lincoln McKellen, 1864.
Reagan versus Carter.
But this is 1864, so it's 212 to 12. Reagan versus Carter, 489 to 49.
See, I feel like
Wow.
that's what we're facing is more of something similar to that.
I don't think so. But
You don't think so?
no.
I think Biden represents a Carter type administration, man.
Who's Biden?
Yeah.
Kamala 2.0, Biden. It's the same person. It's like a transformer.
But yeah, let's go through your list here real fast. Minnesota, I don't think is possibly
Dude,
going
the
blue.
Somali districts came out for Trump
I'm not.
in Minnesota.
I don't think so. I'm not buying that. Like in that camp.
The
I
Muslims
don't-
are and honestly, like I
Well,
put
the Muslims
Michigan
are
as
bigger,
blue.
camp of Muslims though. And
Yeah,
that's why you chose blue. But
I feel like even Michigan has a chance of going red.
I don't think Michigan goes red. I don't even know if Wisconsin goes red. Minnesota, those three states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, are very iffy to me. I don't believe that they go red. Hawaii, definitely not going red. California,
Dude,
not
I'm
one
telling you,
prayer.
with Hawaii's fires, I think there's a chance they could go red.
I think there's a potential chance that Hawaii with those fires, but maybe I don't think this year. I don't think
don't
so.
think
And
so?
California, not one prayer do they
I
go
don't-
red.
I don't think California gets red either.
See, my prediction with California is that they're spending so much money on these other ones, like with Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. I feel like they're
Okay,
pouring a
well,
ton into Pennsylvania.
That's an interesting
So
take.
I feel like they're kind of not fortifying places and they're just taken for granted now, like they're strongholds.
Well, the
I
other
feel like that's where we have a chance of flipping. I think Chicago's too corrupt. I think California gets a little bit more spread out. And I feel like New York, with everything that's been going on there,
Oh, I also don't believe it. New York might
dude, there's
win
a
New
chance,
York,
man.
but
And
I don't
have-
think he does.
My Vermont and New Hampshire might be switched. There's one of those states that's more Trump leaning than the other, and I don't really remember which one it is. But there's also a chance that all of Maine goes red.
It is interesting too, because you have noticed, and we've talked about it on here before too, that a lot of people from California are fleeing California to like red states,
Yeah.
historically red states. So, but
Yeah, man. And I mean that diffusion, I don't know what that really looks like, but I think tomorrow is going to be a blowout for someone, and because I feel like there's going to be so much fraudulent activity, and we might even experience it ourselves tomorrow, that are the people that are voting on election day. But there's already Supreme Court, they haven't seen the court case yet, but there's a Supreme Court like precedent already established that says nothing should be accepted after election day because the Constitution prescribes an election day.
yeah,
Well,
And that's it.
that should also say that we shouldn't be doing early voting though either.
We shouldn't be doing early voting, and we shouldn't be doing all this mail-in absentee ballots.
yeah. I will say the early voting is something that is
ridiculous.
really weird to me.
It's really weird, man.
It's
It's been
a
going on this whole time.
convenience.
People have just been voting.
Well, it's a convenience thing, and I get why people have done it, but at the same time, unless I don't know, man.
Well,
I just don't think.
Before you continue, did you have any other questions about this map for their dear old Kyle? Like, because I don't think California goes. I don't think New York goes. I don't. Yeah, I don't think New Jersey goes.
I don't think Minnesota or Wisconsin goes.
I think
red
New
either.
Jersey goes.
I don't think. I don't think New Jersey. I don't think anything on that upper East Coast goes. I think that's all blue.
I don't know, man. That's if Trump takes that shit back, dude. That's Trump.
Besides Maine,
The
Maine will
Northeast.
split.
Well, anyways, man.
But yeah, I
That's my
did.
hard stop.
Yeah, I did one too. Just before you continue, I'll read off what I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is mine. I'll read it from the top to bottom. I already did it. So let me get to the top. So I got Alabama red, Alaska red, Arizona red, Arkansas red, California blue, Colorado blue, Connecticut blue, Delaware blue, District of Columbia blue, Florida and Georgia red, Hawaii blue, Idaho red, Illinois blue, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana red, Maine blue, with split, so it's 2-2. Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, all blue. Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, all of Nebraska, no splits, a go red. Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, all blue. North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, red. Oregon, blue. Pennsylvania, red. Rhode Island, blue. South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, red. Vermont, Virginia, Washington, blue. West Virginia, red. Wisconsin, blue. And Wyoming, red. For a grand total of 283 to 255.
Well, whatever. I like all three of ours.
Yeah, I mean, Trump wins in mine as well, but I have it more of a more narrow vote. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be significantly closer than you feel it.
Oh yeah,
Like
me too.
Like I really think that Trump should win in a landslide, but I think people are just so numb to Trump because I think this like if it wasn't Donald Trump, right? If it was JD Vance, if it was just any generic Republican, I think he wins by a landslide. But because it's Donald Trump, it's going to be a narrow one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, 283 is still pretty a commanding win.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't think it's going to be a 401 win.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, boys, I got to go, so this was fun.
Yeah, this is fun. What are you drinking before we take off?
Oh, man. So I got Potosi Snake Hollow, and it's a grapefruit IPA, and it tastes like an IPA with all the IPA goodness that we all come to love.
Oh yeah,
or
speak
hate.
for yourself. Yeah,
Or hate, depends on how you say it, but it's more of a citrusy taste. So instead of being a bitter pill to swallow, it's more fruitful. So it's tolerable. I'm on my third one. So
It's not-
I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
For it. And
it's not as good as Moon Man.
No, Moon Man. Moon Man's a little better, but I do like these citrusy IPAs.
Yeah,
When they don't have the crazy
The
aftertaste,
strong,
but I know
bitter.
a lot of that does come from the can. If it was, on tap or something, it'd probably be a little better.
yeah, that's true. I'm drinking some Boston Lager. That's my best Boston accent.
It
It's
was
terrible.
bad, it
Yeah,
was terrible.
but
Never do it again.
That's what we're drinking
Do we have
tonight.
an
so
anti-applause button here?
Nope.
Imagine this, but the opposite. Never mind, it didn't play anything.
didn't work.
Oh well.
Well, yeah, keep looking out. Hopefully we can break our funk and actually start getting back together again to record some of these again. So
Yeah, I hope so.
yeah, but keep an eye out for all of the. Well, I think our screen said 19 listeners, faithful listeners. So, but keep an eye out. Hopefully we can grow that number in the coming weeks or months.
I hope Election Day goes great. I
Yeah,
hope
get
there's
out and
no
vote. Get out and vote.
horribleness that happens. I hope everything goes,
Yep.
off without a hitch.
Yep, get out and vote.
Yes, just vote, please.
Get out
vote.
and exercise your God-given right
Joey,
to vote.
are you gonna vote?
No, I don't think so.
Joe, you gotta vote.
You know that's a lie.
You gotta vote, Joe. So that's why we're gonna vote. You're gonna vote. Everyone go vote.
Everyone's gonna vote. So
Thanks for joining us.
all right, yeah. Thanks for listening to us, and hopefully all goes well, and we'll see you next time.
All right.